Gone to, oh my gosh, look at him. Okay, y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. I am a small seller. I currently sell on eBay as well as on Niknax. We are back in Waldo over off of Warnell at RACKS. When I was here last week, I didn't have enough time to stop by all three stores because the City Thrift, the Goodwill, and RACKS are all within like a minute or two of each other along Warnell here. So if you're ever in the area, I mean, it's worth at least stopping. I think it's Sunday the 21st, September 21st. I might as well grab us a cart here just in case. And it's been a long time since we've been in here, so let's see. Okay, so it looks like orange tags are 50% off, and since it's Sunday, what is it, yellow tags are $1 now. Let's see what we can find. I saw this little art pottery looking bowl here, $2.99 green tag. It's not signed. It's cute. Oh, that's kind of cool looking, huh? It does have the stopper. I think this is a newer piece, but $9.99 tan tag, I bet. It always looks like an X, but I think it means tan tag. Now, I always love looking up on this shelf. They've changed a lot up here though, because it usually has a lot of glass and stuff. Oh, this is tollware, but it's very damaged. That sucks. $4.99 white tag, but it's adorable except for that part. Darn it. Okay. What else did we have down here? I saw this cat, which is what really brought me down. Sitting pretty. Oh, it's a cologne. Avon. Oh, so the kitty must come off. Well, they have like $4.99 on it. Green tag. Here's a cool trinket box. Melodies. You Light Up My Life. Made in Sri Lanka. $9.99 10 tag. It's pretty. But yeah, they normally had like glassware and dishes, like this kind of stuff. $4.99 each on each glass. White tags, so not on sale. So $5 a piece. I think I'll leave it. Contemporary Humpty Dumpty. I think contemporary. Let me see if I can pull them out of here. Produced for design pack. $4.99 green tag on him. That's a cute teapot. $6.99 green tag. But I have teapots. I'm not getting more. It has to be something super amazing. I don't know, guys. I don't know if I'm seeing much else up here. Which I'm probably missing stuff because there's so much up here. Look at all that. $12.98 tan tag. I wonder if that's marked at all. Nope. Just like a big flower pot, I guess. I think I'm standing underneath the air conditioner and it's a little chilly. Hey, what's that? Now that's a different looking teapot. $6.99. We might have to look into that. That's cool. That's different. It's definitely different. Looks like their vintage corner, maybe they moved it. Now it says factory fresh mattress, pillow top. Oh, little China head doll. What does it say there? American Avon heirloom. Oh, $4.99. Hey, look, this matches. What do they have on that $4.99 tan tag? Son of a monkey. I wonder if I should get this and add this to that plate and cup set I have. I might. I literally have the matching pieces. Oh, is that broken or is that? No, I think that's leather. They're just little decorative shoes. Little decorative tray. Oh my gosh. $9.99 tan tag. Made in USSR. I figured. But dang, they want $10 on that one. Ooh, that's kind of cool. And there's a set of them. What? They're $13 green tags. Ooh, that's kind of cool too. Look at how intricate that is. I think that's an elephant with its trunk up, I guess. $6.99 green tag. I mean, it overall looks to be in pretty good condition. Some of these little, it's like little pieces of glass, really. that they put in here. I don't know, I just think it's really stinking pretty. Is that worth getting for $6.99? Now these pieces are like really thin metal, but I do like that mother of pearl over and inlay on them. And I like that they match. Oh, look at that. Well, that makes me feel better about not getting them then, because that's some damage I can't overlook. Here's a cool looking Buddha. He's got a lot of paint loss. $4.99 green tag. That's too bad. Oh wow, $24.98. Orange tag. Weren't orange tags on sale? Right? I'll have to look at that closer. Yeah, half off. As long as it's not damaged, I might get that. That's beautiful. Ooh, here's a coaster set. It's like carved wood. I think it's a coaster set. And orange tag, so it's half off. Well, I think it probably was a coaster set, and now it's just a trinket box. $4.99 half off, or $6.99 half off. But I do like that. Oh wow, look at that camel. Oh, I didn't see him before. He's huge. He's probably around 2 feet tall. He looks to be hand painted. Oh, I think he's metal. Oh golly gee. $20 green tag. He's a contemporary piece, I think, because of that sticker residue on there. Let's set him up here. Let's get him a little more action. I don't think I want to do 20 on it, but it's cool. $6.99 orange tag. Contemporary, blown in mold. I don't see any marks on it, but that is a cute base. Oh my God, he has fangs. Oh my gosh, look at his claws. He's made in China. Oh dear. I don't see a price tag on him. That's terrifying. I'm skipping by the pots and pans. I did kind of look as we went by it, but there really wasn't much. White tag, $20. That's like a hammered bronze, hammered brass maybe. That is cool, sort of like a fan vase. I'd assume it's probably made in India, but $20 is probably pushing it a little for me. I don't know who does that. What's it say? RRR. I don't know. $4.99 blue tag. That's intense looking. Holy moly. Oh my gosh. Look at him. Oh, his plastic has seen some better days, but wow. He's definitely one of the older guys. Paint's pretty well gone. I don't know what they have on him. Oh, and it still even has the little metal stirrups down here. I wonder what they have on him. Well, there's his Brandon mark. I don't know. I don't know what they want for him. I couldn't fit him in the car if I wanted to. Oh no, I didn't realize they did this. They put tested on here. I don't know if they do it for everything, but there is an outlet thing back here if you want to test your stuff though, which is kind of cool. And they got like some of your cookware stuff. There's definitely some cute lamps. I like that milk glass. Ooh, and I have one that matches this, but it's like skinny. But it very much matches this. Very pretty. Yeah, we have to find some of those yellow tags. Oh, was this the chair that Alex had to sit in when he was naughty? Oh my goodness gracious. Ooh, here's a puzzle. I'm gonna go with Eagle. I don't know, but he's like a puzzle thing. I don't know what they have on him. Where's your price, bro? Oh, $4.99 yellow tag. Oh, is that worth getting? I have no idea. $4.99 yellow tag, so he'd be $1, right? Okay, I'm gonna put him in the cart and we'll look him up. I don't know anything about that. I get a very contemporary vibe from it, but I think it is cool and warrants investigation. Big Basin Redwoods State Park. That's cool. $4.99 green tag. Ooh, that's very pretty too. Hand carved cobalt salt glaze Williamsburg pottery. $4.99 tan tag. That's cute. I wish there was another one. Hey, what's that? That's a different mug. Melissa Hoot, maybe? $2.99 white tag. Huh. Kind of like that. Look at this bird plate. Hand painted, machine paint. I don't know what that is. UHVLT. $2.99 tan tag. We'll look that up. Oh, this is missing its lid and the little spoon, but I always love these pieces. Oh, and it's a yellow tag too. Darn. Hey, here's some of that Aztec, I think it is, pattern. That France Art Croc. I think it's called Aztec. I could be wrong, but times two. $2.99 yellow tag, but I see 3. I'm confused. Here's a really pretty rose bowl, but it's chipped at the top. I love this drape kind of pattern to it. This is Anchor Hawking Sereno, I think, but I'm not positive the color on that. Normally when I see that, it's in amber, like a real yellow honey amber. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, it's a doll. $2.99 green tag. I thought it was going to be like a little towel, but it's a doll. She's adorable. I don't need any dolls, but she is adorable. Here's another one of these. Now it's Oriental in style, but it looks Germany, and it is. $4.99 white tag. Typically, for me, it's that airbrushing on the sides that kind of gives it away. For the Germany, Bavaria pieces. This one here is probably early 1900s. It is really cool though, but I'm gonna leave it. I do like it. It's got the little bird in there. But for me, these pieces tend to sit for a long time, so even if I get them at a good deal, they're very long tail items. That could be disastrous. This is porcelain and it's sitting out. Like if I hadn't looked down, I could have ran right into that. One of my favorite aisles to check out is right down here, but let's take a peek here first. These kind of look like Mudman figures, but he's definitely been repaired. $6.99 yellow tag. Dang, too bad. I think he's one of the newer ones just based on the colors. But I do like this one, and he is Mudman style as well. $10 green tag on him. He's not on sale. He is cool though. The older ones usually have these darker colors to them. Oh, here's a little jewelry casket. I bet you this originally maybe had glass in it. I got $6.99 green tag. Or I don't know, maybe it's a small tissue box. I think I'm gonna leave it though. This is ridiculous. Oh my gosh, it's kind of heavy. It is an actual bowling pin. $9.99 yellow tag. He's paper mache, as you can tell right there. But he's in rough condition. Like, look at the neck, or she. I think it's a he. I think it's supposed to be like a colonial style guy. Oh, that's cute. It's like a soapstone duck. Oh, his tail's broken. Dang it. Look at that. Ooh, I like that. $5 tan tag. I don't know what the purpose of this bowl would be other than to be cute. Like, is it a tea bag holder? Would it have come in a set? Because it's hand done, handmade. It's like his tusks probably were removed. He's a heavy marble. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm guessing he probably had tusk on there that they removed, or that he came in broken that way because they say as is. That's kind of cool looking. 1763, and it's got a ship on it. What's it say? Charming replica of a carving of a ship can be found on a stone erected in the old cemetery at, I'm going to go with Dennis, Massachusetts, but I'm not sure. Commemorating the founding on the town of Cape Cod. The stone marks the family plot of the Reverend Josiah Dennis, I'm right, Dennis, 1695 to 1763, for whom the town of Dennis was named. This is number 110, $4.99, tan tag. This is cool. It does have some chipping and stuff there. I think we'll leave it. I did see, well, I didn't see this first. Spain, $4.99 orange tag. Tiny little basket. It would probably sit for a long while. This here, I'm guessing is like a pen holder or something. Oh, this is what I was saying. I did see $4.99 yellow tag. It is really cool. I'm gonna leave it though. Oh my God, I didn't see him before, and that is, come on, man. Like, he's adorable. Okay, he might be my thumbnail, at least, because he's stinking adorable. They got $7 on him, green tag. Man, I would pick him up just for like in a live sale. You know, he's not a high dollar value item. That's not the point. It's just, I like him. That's the point. $4.99 tan tag, $5 for this. It is cool. I keep coming back to this because it's like incised, you know? It's all hand decorated. Dang it. This looks like a little either recycled or fused glass sort of thing. I think, I don't know, $2.99 green tag on it. Hey, I have this, I think, exact one at home. $4.99 tan tag. I don't know that I've ever listed it. Some of my pieces like that I have acquired through the years have minor damage to them. Enough damage that I don't necessarily want to list them. Oh. Chikara. It's a signed mug. Dawn to Earth. I'm not sure if I'm saying that word right, but that's cool. Let's bring it forward a little. But yeah, I was telling you, a lot of the pieces like this that I got, you know, Occupy Japan, which that's what this is, and Japan pieces, they would come in lots and stuff, and a lot of them would wind up being pretty broken. So over here, they've got some of their furniture and stuff, and for some reason, some dishes in that cabinet. I don't know that I've really ever looked at their furniture pricings. I don't see a price on this one. They got $4.99 on each of those like lawn chair kind of cushions. $12.98 green tag on this piece here, this chest or side table. Oh, that's fun. See, now if I still had a booth, that's the kind of stuff I would grab to put in it. It's like an old magazine newspaper holder. That's really neat. What's that? Copyright Toll Arts, 1976, and then it is signed by the artist. It's a mountain goat. About the artist, Noel Smith. Well, it's got the whole kit and caboodle on there. $4.99 tan tag. That's really cool looking. Wow. Look at that old frame too. Some of that gesso's coming off. $6.99 tan tag. The picture looks pretty faded and scratched and all that stuff though. Okay, you guys, so after looking everything up, I don't know that this has much of a high resale value. I think it's a contemporary piece. I think it's modern, like an educational sort of puzzle box thing, but I think it looks cool. It is on sale, $4.99 yellow tag, and so I think that's why I may go ahead and get it, because I don't see any damage to it. No, I kind of do. I might put it back. I think this is Kosta Boda. Fused glass Kosta Boda is who I think that is. I'm gonna go and look and see if I can find some more. I don't know who makes this, but this unique shape for $6.99, I'm gonna grab it. This, I very, very carefully pulled the tape back and lifted the lid up, and it's in great condition. They have basically 25 on it, but it's an orange tag. So I think that's half off, and this one here is $5 tan tag. It's not on sale. I really hope that tape doesn't pull all that lacquer off. I'll have to use some heat, but I feel like that might be worth adding to those pieces I have. So I'm probably gonna set that back because it's got a little damage to it. This one here was $6.99 orange tag, and like I said, I think this originally probably contained coasters, but now I think it's a really cool freaking jewelry box. And for half off, I'm gonna go for it. So Eagle's going back. Everything else I'm gonna walk around a little bit more and just look, but otherwise I will see you guys back at the house. All right, y'all, welcome back to the kitchen island. We're going to look over the few things we were able to pick up while visiting Red Racks today. I am going to start, I think, with this little case here. I'm not sure who produced it, and hopefully I'm able to get that mark off there. We're going to try together while we're on camera here. Given that this is wood, I imagine this will come off pretty easy. The piece itself is incised and then looks like hand painted. I think this was a little box that originally held coasters in it. There's no markings, names, or anything like that. Obviously the coasters are no more, but you can tell it's a turned wood piece. I love the exterior of it as well, and they mimicked that on the lid to boot, but just kind of a typical Oriental pagoda style scene going on here. Very simple, but I think this makes for a really cool trinket box, jewelry box, you know, whatever kind of box you'd like. Okay, so I'm going to give this a try with just some magic eraser here. And it looks like it is coming off perfectly. Okay, now they had this at $6.99 orange tag, and orange tags were half off. And so basically it was $7, half of that's about $3.50, after tax roughly $4. Realistic value on it for resale, I would venture to say probably 12 to 18, maybe slightly more. It is a cool design, it's in really good condition and everything, but I would venture to say a conservative estimate would be 12 to 18. Now this piece, I do not remember if I picked it up after I quit filming or not. It does have some crazing, as you can see there on the exterior. I don't think I saw any on the interior of it, but this is one of the coolest frickin' drip glaze pieces I have seen in a while. I love those colors on there. And it is signed on the bottom with, I believe, Russell. It's 2005 or 6, I'm not sure. But they did write with that grease pen marker thing, $2.99 tan tag. So I paid $3 for it. And I figured, you know, even if it sells for 12 to 18, which is about roughly where I would imagine due to the crazing, that realistic resale value would probably go with it. I figured for $3, given the fact that this base is bisque, it's unglazed, this would be a good one to try a dry erase marker on and see how well that ink pen or grease pen comes off as well. So let's try that. Okay. Oh, hallelujah. Look at that. Came off there without a problem. I love it. Okay, so that worked perfectly. Now, a lot of times, and I've had you guys asking me too, like what I do to remove those marks on there. Not all material is going to be the same. Now, this is unglazed on the bottom, but it is a type of material that we were able to remove this off of. The other pieces that I have picked up in the past that concern me with using things like a dry erase marker on, because in my experience, the clay tends to just soak it up. It's bisque pieces that sometimes they're kind of painted, sometimes not. Sometimes it's just the bare clay, but it's kind of a more chalky, if you will, exterior to it. So more of a plaster sort of. Some of the Mexican or Southwest style vases that I've picked up with like the gold trim and everything on it. I was going to grab one to show you guys, but I don't know where it is at the moment. But the kind of chalkier sort of clays and stuff, those are the ones where that grease pen, as you rub the dry erase marker around on there, it just kind of, the clay absorbs it and it just turns it into a blob. That's not always the case. Sometimes you can get away with doing it, but just be aware. So now moving on to this little piece. Now, what cracks me up, and I was telling you guys before, I think a couple times, that Russian lacquered plate and cup set that I have, I've had it in my live sale a couple times, and sadly nobody's purchased it. I think these are so flippin' cool and pretty, just for their decorative purpose alone. But when I had gone to checkout the day that I bought that cup and plate set, the lady that worked at the Goodwill over in Bonner Springs had told me, or had asked me, if I saw the other pieces in the back. And I said, no, I didn't know there were other pieces. And she said, oh, somebody else must have bought them. So imagine my surprise when we are over in Red Racks down the street from that Goodwill. And it's been at least a month or so since I picked up that cup and plate set. And here was this little set, this tiny little, I'm going to go with like a little serving bowl and spoon, you know, condiment kind of idea. They had $4.99 tan tag on it. It was not on sale, but it is in perfect condition, and I love that it has the spoon with it. I love the design in it. It's all hand painted, then lacquered. And again, let's try to get that off, because it looks like, you see how shiny it is up here, but then the base isn't quite as shiny, so I don't think it's lacquered, at least not as well. So let's grab that dry erase marker and see if we can get that off. All right, here we go. Hot dog. Looks like it worked out perfectly. That is beautiful. I love it. Okay. So I'm going to, I think, pair this up with that cup and saucer set, which is why I picked this up. I had that in mind. If I was to sell this by itself, again, I would think maybe $12 to $18 resale value on it. With the cup and plate, did I say saucer before? The cup and plate. I don't know, the whole set of it, the spoon, the little bowl, the cup, the plate, I would imagine probably give or take $30 for it. It's an adorable piece. It's hand painted. It's hand done. I mean, I love it. I think it's beautiful. Now, some other tricks that I have tried when things like dry erase marker do not work, especially on pieces like this. I will try Barkeeper's Friend. My other method is to use a little bit of vinegar and sometimes a little bit of baking soda, get a little chemical reaction in there to help eat away at it. You want to be careful with that, as well as with Barkeeper's Friend or any method that you're using for that matter. But sometimes that can work a little bit better than just the basic dry erase marker. Again, it just depends on the material. So you always want to try to find like a small spot on it and do a little test run and see how your method is working and go from there. Okay, then we had this interesting piece, and I would love to be able to tell you guys who makes this, but I honestly don't know. When I saw it in the store, Hall, H-A-L-L, came to mind, and I'll put some examples up on the screen of pieces that are similar to this, but obviously not the same, made by Hall that have sold. This one here, it looks a little bit smaller in its overall size compared to the Hall teapot. The hole in the center, to me, looks a little bit wider than the Hall teapots. Obviously, it has this ball style stopper on the top, and the Hall ones, generally, a lot of them have more of that atomic looking lid to it. Then it also has this little lip here to make holding it a little bit easier. And I don't believe the Hall teapots have that. I almost thought this piece didn't actually go with this at first, because this is glazed in a black, I believe. The piece itself, the body, is a very dark blue, navy blue, but the handle is black and the spout is black. The spout is also in perfect condition. I'm sure I'll be able to get that $6.99 green tag off there. Green tags were not on sale, so we did pay the full $7 for it, plus tax. There's no markings or indicators of who made it on the base. I am not sure who made this, but I've had scrolling on the screen while I've been talking here kind of what I was being shown when I tried to Google lens this, and obviously none of those are the same either. I've tried looking in my collector's book, American Dinnerware, with a whole bunch of different vintage dinnerware sets, and they include teapots and everything, and I can't find it. So if anybody does know, that'd be great. Let me know. I get a very mid-century vibe from it, but that is about the extent that I know. It's a donut-shaped teapot. It's really cool, really pretty. Resale value on it, I would estimate, give or take, probably $30 to $40. I could be wrong, but that's where my best guess would be without any true comps to go off of. Then we had this beautiful little plate. Oh my gosh, this is Kosta Boda, and there's the initials. I can't remember what they stand for now, and there's a little partial remaining piece of the sticker on there. It says hand painted, and then I think it's referring to the plate being machine or molded probably. But this is so cute, and it looks like, I'm going to put some comps up on the screen of sold listings, but also current listings. There's a current listing where somebody has like a whole lot of these. I don't know how many are in the lot. It looks like quite a few, but they have the bird and then several others. So I don't know, but this is adorable. Now, I did find one comp for this, sold comp, for the last 90 days, and it was roughly, I think, around $20. But other similar pieces sell anywhere from $30 to $40, so I don't know. I would venture to say probably between $20 and $30 is a safe estimate on it, but that is so cute. I flippin' love that piece. Then we had this beautiful glass piece, and I feel like this might have been one of the first pieces I picked up when we got in there. It's painted down here on the foot. It's got kind of a little baluster thing going on there. I am in love with it. It has these little paste flowers that are hand painted, of course, hand painted embellishment gold. Now, it was $24.98, and they have it on here twice. I don't know why they wrote it on the gold, but we're gonna see if we can get it off. But it was an orange tag, so $25. It was half of that, roughly $12.50, $13. I did pull back the tape in the store enough so that I could lift the lid up and make sure everything looked fine. And the interior of the lid looked perfect. No chips or anything to the glass. And as far as I could tell when I looked in the store, the piece itself also looked perfect. But when I got home, I did realize that it does have a small chip right there. Now, of course, you can't really notice that right off, but it is there nonetheless. It's still beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to show you guys the replacements version of this. They are saying it is Victorian glass. I can't remember how they worded it. By Seiyei, S-E-Y-E-I, I think. And they have this dish, I believe. It might be a little bit more slender, not quite as bulbous as this, but this very similar dish. And they have it listed for, I think, just shy of $80. Now, I don't anticipate this one selling for that, especially with the chip to the rim up here. But looking on eBay, there are sold comps for similar pieces to this for, you know, anywhere between $30 and $40, give or take. And that's probably where I'd expect it to land. It may go for slightly less because of that chip, but this is stinking gorgeous. And like, I mean, all the paste flowers are still there and in good shape. The gold overall, it has very minor fade to it, but it's overall in beautiful condition. You can see that little chip to the rim right there. But it's this beautiful ruby red glass. I can't help myself when it comes to these kinds of pieces. So, moment of truth. Hopefully this works out well. I'm gonna go with the dry erase marker again and see how it does, because the last thing I want to do is wipe away any of that gold. Okay. It worked. Yes. Awesome. Let's go ahead and take this one off while we're at it. And the interior of it, I could tell, needs a little wipe down, but perfect. Oh, I'm so happy that didn't damage the gold. This is a piece that I know you guys didn't see in the video because I finally found their vintage shop. They just moved it from the back wall in the store up to the front. I am kind of glad I didn't film it because you guys would probably be losing your minds at some of the prices. I did find a really cool bilateral spill vase by Gonder. but they had like $20 or $25 on it, basically what it sells for on eBay, like if not slightly more. So I went ahead and left it because it wasn't on sale. This one wasn't either. It was a tan tag. It was $7. But this one here is by a company called Niloak. And I am going to read you guys some information on this pottery company. This is one of the pieces that doesn't sell for the super high dollars. Now it does sell decently well, don't get me wrong, but this is a name to keep a lookout for, and I'm going to explain to you why. All right, you guys have seen this book before by the Covels, The Covels Collector's Guide to American Art Pottery. Copyright 1974 by Crown Publishers. A little bit of an older book, but the information is still quite valuable. So I want to read you guys this section on Niloak pottery and give you an idea of who they are, where they were located, all the things. Okay, so in the very first line, it turns out I was pronouncing it wrong. It's Niloak pottery. Niloak pottery was made in Benton, Arkansas from 1909 to 1946. Their special marbleized art pottery line is of great interest, but the factory also made case and molded wares. J.H. Hyten had a pottery in Boonesboro, Iowa, and moved to Arkansas for his health. He worked at a pottery which he finally bought and renamed the Eagle Pottery. The hills in the area had good potting clay of many colors and a natural gas supply to heat the kiln. But Hyten died within a few months, and his widow married a potter who ran the pottery until 1895 when they moved to Ohio. After Hyten's death, his 18-year-old son, Charles D. Bullitt Hyten, worked in the stoneware pottery, decided to stay in Arkansas and run the pottery. His two brothers joined him, and the firm became known as Hyten Brothers Pottery. In 1909, Charles began making a new type of pottery of different colored clays. The mixture of clay was put on the potter's wheel, and a multicolored spiral design of natural color clays was formed. At first, the pieces were glazed inside and out, but Hyten decided to glaze only the inside of the pieces so that they could hold water. The exterior remained in the natural matte finish of the multicolored clays, and it was finished with a sandpapering process. The end result was ware with an almost satin finish. To manufacture this marbleized pottery required several special processes. Different clays shrink at different rates. To avoid this, Hyten developed his own process. He added whitening, ground flint, and when needed, coloring pigments to the liquid clay. Then the clay was worked in the more usual ways, but the baking process also was different. The pottery was fired for 36 to 49 hours in a steadily increasing heat. The temperature finally reached about 2100 degrees Fahrenheit. This process was eventually patented by Charles Hyten. He applied for the patent in June of 1924 and received it January 31st, 1928. Patent 1657997 read, "The invention, more specifically speaking, has to do with the production of clay pottery of a decorative character by virtue of the use of clay of different colors. It explains the process and also the coloring agents added to the clay." Several articles claim that all of Niloak pottery was made from natural colored clays dug from the Saline County hills near Benton, Arkansas. Blue, red, white, gray, brown, and beige clays were found. When unavailable colors were needed, oxides were added to white clay. Cobalt oxide for blue, ferric oxide for red, chromic oxide for gray, as stated in the patent. In 1910, Hyten decided to market the art pottery under the name Niloak, which is kaolin spelled backwards. Kaolin has been used for making porcelain since early times in the Orient. Niloak pottery was offered for sale in local jewelers' window. Business was so good that in 1911 the Niloak Pottery Company was formed. Stock was sold and the money was used to build a 2-story plant with modern equipment. Hyten was superintendent. The stoneware line of the earlier Eagle pottery and some glazed wares were made, but the colored clay marbleized pieces were about 90% of the output. In 1912, the sales force had been increased and Niloak pottery sold well in all parts of the country. In 1918, Hyten bought total control of the company. The firm made 75,000 pieces in its most productive years. 6 potters were employed at various times, but Huyton made most of the pieces. Stores in all parts of the United States and in Cuba, Europe, and the Far East sold Niloak. It was part of a display at the 1934 Chicago World Fair. With the Depression, sales fell because the pottery was expensive, so the firm began to make castwares in several types of high gloss and semi-matte finishes, and some hand-turned pieces were also made. The castware line, called Highwood, included both solid and multicolored pieces. At first, the new line was stamped with the name Highwood as well as Niloak, but soon it was marked simply Niloak. During the Depression years, the building and properties were mortgaged and Huyton lost control of the business. He continued as a salesman until 1941 when he joined Comark Pottery as a salesman. Marbleized Niloak was made until 1942 and the pottery continued until 1946. Charles Huyton died in 1944. The product. The swirled mixed clay pottery made by Niloak and first developed by Charles Huyton in 1909 is the most popular of the company's wares collected today. A few of these early pieces were glazed both inside and out. Most of the marbleized wares were glazed only on the inside. The soft, sandpapered, satiny finish of the natural clay was preferred. The colors of the pieces depended on the supply of clay on hand and the skill of the potter. 2 or more colors were used, usually brown and blue. It is unusual to find a piece that is predominantly white, although white was sometimes included in the mixture. It is thought that the earlier pieces were of dark brown, cream, and blue. Later pieces show green, blue, and pink mixtures. Early pieces are possibly a bit less colorful. The clays used were of natural color whenever possible, but some of the pieces were made with tinted clay. All types of pottery shapes were made: vases, candlesticks, tobacco humidors with lids, wine and ale bottles with corks, fruit bowls, lamps, mugs, tiles, umbrella stands, ashtrays, pitchers, clock cases, fern dishes, smoking sets, steins, tankards, match holders, jardinières, and lamps. The Highwood line was entirely different from the other ware. This was cast or molded pottery and not hand-thrown. The Highwood pieces were small animals such as squirrels or frogs, small vases, pitchers, and other inexpensive items. Highwood was not in art pottery. The marks. Both impressed marks and paper labels were used. Although it is often claimed that all Niloak was marked, unmarked pieces are known. This may be because the piece had a paper label at the factory and the label has disappeared. The impressed marks were the name of the factory, Niloak, in either art style or printed form. The word Niloak sometimes appears in raised letters under glaze. This was part of the mold. The year and date also sometimes appear on pieces made in 1928 after the patent was granted. The name Niloak was registered number 195889, November 3rd, 1924. The paper labels were of several types either: Niloak pottery in a circle, or from the Niloak potteries at Benton, Arkansas, on a jug. Often a model number was included in the center of the circle. The Highwood pieces were marked with the words Highwood by Niloak and later with the word Niloak. These were stamped in black or in raised letters on the piece. Sometimes a patent number was included. Alright guys, so that is the gist of it, but I did want to read you another small article that I found from the Encyclopedia of Arkansas Niloak Pottery. And a lot of the information in here is going to be kind of a repeat, but there is some additional info in here that I thought warranted us reading it. So here we go. Niloak is a popular American art pottery that was created in Benton or Saline County from 1909 until 1946 by the Eagle Pottery Company. Niloak is best known in the pottery world for its unique mission swirl design, but the company in later years produced 2 other lines, Highwood art pottery and the Highwood by Niloak. The name Niloak is the word kaolin spelled backward. Kaolin is a type of fine-grade clay found near Benton and used in production. Niloak was the creation of Benton native Charles Dean Bullitt Huyton and an Ohio potter named Arthur Dovey. Huyton grew up in the business, taking over his stepfather's Benton pottery in partnership with his brothers Paul and Lee in 1895. The Huyton brothers' pottery produced jugs, crocks, and churns for local and regional use. Paul and Lee left the business by 1901, and Charles entered into a partnership with Alfred Warren, renaming the company Eagle Pottery, but continuing the production of utilitarian pieces. Dovey had learned the trade in the famous Ohio potteries, working for a time at the Rookwood Pottery in Cincinnati. He moved to Arkansas sometime before 1906 and began working in the Wachita Pottery in Hot Springs, Garland County. Dovey went to work for Huyton at Eagle in 1909 to help create the first line of art pottery. Together, the two began production of Eagle Pottery's Niloak missionware line, using a process for mixing colored clays to achieve a swirled pattern in the finished product with a soft matte finish. While Dovey has long been credited as the creator of the swirling process, an undocumented claim exists stating that early Niloak potter Fred Johnson invented the swirled design when he worked for the Wachita Pottery, bringing the process with him when he came to work for Niloak. Supporting that claim is a 1906 photograph of the interior of the Wachita Pottery that clearly shows several pieces of swirled pottery on display in the shop, proving that Eagle was not the creator of the concept. It is still undetermined who the inventor of the process was, because Arthur Dovey was also pictured in the photo at the potter's wheel. Whoever the creator was, the resulting product was an overwhelming success, although not without its setbacks. Perfection of the swirled process took at least a year, and it was March 1910 before the first piece of Niloak was ready to be placed on the market. The pieces were offered for sale in Benton at the Brush Drug and Jewelry Company. In July 1911, several Benton businessmen incorporated the Niloak Pottery Company to produce the popular line, and by 1915, the physical plant on Pearl Street in Benton had been expanded to cover 2 floors. Eagle Pottery continued to produce its more utilitarian line of churns, crocks, and bowls until 1938. For reasons unknown, the company fell on hard times and was dissolved in 1918. By 1921, Niloak was back in operation, but this time the product offering had moved away from a purely art pottery line to include a large line of utilitarian, floral, and gift items. Niloak entered its most prosperous time during the 1920s, with a large part of its success coming from the company's association with Arkansas boosterism. The Arkansas Advancement Association had launched a massive campaign to promote the state's economic benefits to the rest of the nation, and Niloak played a prominent role in that endeavor. The quick pace of growth forced the company to move its production from individual potters to a more standardized form just to keep up with demand. Sales slumped during the early years of the Great Depression, and Huyton believed the reason to be missionware's placement as a luxury item. In 1931, Huyton moved into a new phase of production, launching the Highwood art pottery line. Highwood was to be a more functional line of glazed pottery he thought would be accessible to a larger group of people. Huyton hired a skilled ceramist, Stoyne M. Stoyne, to oversee design and production of the line. A fire at the plant in March 1932, followed by Stoyne's departure also in 1932, set the company back. But Huyton hired a new ceramist, Howard Lewis, who developed new glazes and techniques. In order to capitalize on the Niloak name, the line was changed to Highwood by Niloak. In the summer of 1932, Huyton hired ceramist Rudy Gans to develop molds to move the company into the castware business. Unfortunately, the company could not weather the damage brought on by the Great Depression, and a group of Little Rock businessmen led by Hardy Lathan Winburn III purchased the company in 1934. Winburn's business knowledge brought the company out of peril as he streamlined production and improved marketing, but business was down by 1941. Winburn competed for government contracts, and the company began producing items such as porcelain electrical conductors. By the summer of 1942, Niloak was largely involved with war production. In the final 2 years of the war, the company produced over 1 million clay pigeons a month for the military. With the end of the war, military contracts ended, and the company re-entered the castware business again, but slumping sales called for a new direction. In the fall of 1947, the Niloak Pottery Company was dissolved, and the Winburn Tile Company was born. Winburn went out of business in 2001. Okay, y'all, so there you have it, a little bit of history and background on Niloak pottery. This piece here, obviously, I think is going to be part of that Highwood line, as it is not the swirled and it is not unglazed. This is a like semi-matte, semi-gloss, I suppose, glaze. It is mauve in color, little hints of blue, and of course this like pinkish, very soft pink. You can tell it is mold formed looking at the base of it, as well as it has the debossed Niloak mark on the bottom there. So this piece would have been produced in roughly the 30s, 40s-ish time period. I absolutely love this piece, and while I was reading all that, I was showing you guys what I was reading, but I was also trying to show you guys comps at the same time for the different pieces, especially because some of the photographs that I have of the marble clay pieces are not in color in this book. But that's okay. You guys get an idea of it. If you come across this pottery, it can be worth really good money. So it's definitely something to look out for. The style of this, the swirled clay, reminds me very much of Namaji pottery. And Namaji is not the only company to have produced similar type of clay. But that's a lot of what it reminds me of. Now, I did notice when they said in the book here that Highwood was not an art pottery. And I think the reason they kind of stressed that a little bit was because it was mold formed and there was little to no hand decoration or manipulation to it. However, they did do animal figurines and stuff like that. And they kind of, I don't know, to me it gave me the impression that those pieces were less valuable because, well, it kind of flat out tells you that, and other inexpensive items. But if you're like looking at those comps that I had going on the screen, you can see that several of the animals and pieces like this, they still can go for really good money. This piece in particular has no damage to it. That I have found, and I would expect probably around $30 to $40 for it. It's not, you know, some multi-$100 item like some of them can be, but I think that's probably a fairly realistic number for this particular piece. I just don't want to leave you guys with the impression that the Highwood pieces or these semi-gloss, semi-matte pieces are not valuable, because clearly, as you can see in those comps, they do carry value. However, if you come across some of these swirled marble pieces, well, you're probably looking at some pretty good money depending on the condition of it. So I hope that was insightful for everybody. Just to give you a little bit of background. I, of course, don't always have time to do this for all pieces, but I really enjoy digging into the history, especially when it comes to the old potteries and stuff. Just like how in this piece it talks about Dovey had learned the trade in the famous Ohio potteries working for a time at the Rookwood Pottery in Cincinnati. And I mean, I don't know, I kind of feel like I can sense that, you know. But that's the same with a lot of these pieces. And this style reminds me a lot of like the arts and crafts movement style, the style of glaze and everything like that. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. So all in all, I think that's it for this one, guys. I am getting my first eBay multi-day sale set up. It will go live Monday at 5 p.m. I believe Eastern and 7 p.m. Central. I don't know. It's confusing. When I was setting it up, I put in the scheduled date and time, and it put it in there like I put 5 p.m. and it switched it to 7 automatically on its own. And so I think that's accounting for like Pacific time, or I don't know. Anyways, it's starting Monday night. If you guys want to go check that out, I pulled, I think, 10 pieces from just old inventory that I'd had listed for a while in my eBay store, and then I'm adding stuff to it as well. So I'm going to work on finishing that up before that sale gets started, and I will catch y'all on the next one.